Good morning, maybe even afternoon out there for you guys. We're going over the mathematical inevitable power spike. As long as you follow what's going on in this video here, guys, and apply it to your account, to your character, we're going to be talking about the big spike. We see how much of a spike we're going to be seeing from Noelle when patch 2.3 drops out here, what it is that we're going to be aiming for when that patch drops, and how it's going to affect us. White Blind, Serpent Spine, new set, old set, Gorou, C0, C6. It's all covered. Don't worry, Steven and I got your back today. Enjoy the ride. And as always, man, join the family. Get down in the comment section. I love to see your smiling faces. And if you've been here before, make sure you're subscribed. Come on back. You're going to love it. You keep finding me in the YouTube, Google search engine. Get notified. Come in here. Have fun. Now, to break this down, to talk about a couple things, we're going over the gear that we can use, the things that I have access to in my stats, and that's what we're really basing our math on. This is the basis here, so let's tackle this first here. So the weapons that we're going to be talking about today, the Serpent Spine, this one's R4, but we're going to use an R5. We math stuff out here. We showcase that math, as well as the R5 White Blind. Should you get R5 Serpent Spine? Is it worth it? Is it worth getting R1 Serpent Spine? If you have R5 White Blind already, when this new set drops, we're talking about that as well as the new artifact set. We're comparing it to everyone's mainstay on Noelle here, the good old retracing bolide set. If you guys don't know what the new set's going to be doing, it has stacks, pretty easy to get, either be in the back or do geo damage, get up to 4 stacks, looking at 54% defense up and 24% geo damage up, which is very nice as well. Now, when we get into it, the one thing you want to know about this set is it does have stacks, and as always, unless they change it going forward, I don't think they're going to though, if you're a Noelle stan, been using the White Blind a lot, you know that you need to get your White Blind stacks up first, because the good old defense to attack, when you activate that elemental burst, it snapshots and stays there. So just like the White Blind, if you're using that like you're used to on Noelle, you got to get those 4 stacks up first, and then go ahead and activate her and have those stacks from the new set come out. So if you don't get those new set stacks up, you're gonna have like 20% defense instead of the big 54. So you're gonna keep her in the back a little bit, bring her out, use her E, get the shield, get the 4th stack between geo damage there, and then activate that elemental burst. Not that hard to do, but it's just like using the White Blind. If you're used to being able to do that, here's another tool to add to the table there. And then what I base the numbers off of is what I already have right now. Now, am I going to get the same stats on those new artifact sets right away? Hopefully you guys do too, but it's going to take a little bit of time here. And so I just took the stats I have on my artifacts right now. So if I can replicate what I have on this set, it's a very well rolled set. Not going to get it day one, but this is going to be some of the upper tier stuff that you can aim for when comparing your older gear to your newer gear. You have to match these kind of stats, otherwise you're gonna be falling through that way. So keep that in mind as well. So we're using Geo Goblet, crit something, circle it here, defense sands, we're aiming for crit chance, crit damage, defense percent, maybe a little attack percent if it gets on there for free. It's better than flat HP, and a little bit of energy recharge as well. And remember, when we're looking at this stuff, it's raw damage. We're not comparing it versus enemy defense, level correction, if you know what that even is. If you're a casual player, don't worry about it. This is the raw damage. It'll be a little bit less than you see here, but we're also not using character buffs. We're not using resistance down from ×2 geo resistance, no resistance down from Zhongli shield. This is just straight raw damage. Very easy to compare them, very easy to math out that way. But the set isn't the only thing that's new coming out with 2.3. We also know about Gorou. Gorou is going to be an amazing asset to a character squad here. Now, C0 versus C6, a little bit different there. We can break that down more, maybe a Gorou video. We'll talk about it slightly here. We don't want to bore you with the crazy details. C0 Gorou is going to give you like a 350 defense buff with a 25% additional defense buff, which is awesome. You use that to snapshot the defense to attack stat. That's going to be good there as well. It's also, if you have 3 geo characters, 15% additional geo damage, which you'll love to see on top of that. That's going to be C0 Gorou. If you go for C6, you're also going to get a little bit of extra defense from his E, because you're going to have the ability to go to level 13 instead of 10. That's going to be 438 flat defense, which can help your defense to attack. And you're also going to get up to 40% crit damage from Constellation 6. So the max capabilities of my Noelle currently: R5 Spine, set that I have on right now, retracing bolide, raw damage. Normal tech number 1, 29,918 damage. The normal tech number 4, her finishing hit, 42,800 damage. A plunging attack from the highest height possible, where it maxes out damage, 80,000 damage. If we take this and compare it to what we can get in 2.3 to max our character out on the Serpent Spine R5 new set, with the exact gear that we have right now, if we max all the substats and all the main stats, we just max them all out, match them. 45,000 damage on normal attack number 1, 65,000 damage on our 4th hit, and 121,000 damage on our plunging attack. That is a substantial increase in damage. You're looking at over a 30% increase in damage, which is wild. All this new defense to attack, the crit damage up, this all allows us to just do the best things of all time. And this is your average damage, right? We have 51 crit chance, 236 with Gorou C6. You would want to build that a little bit different with this new build, because right now, the tier that I'm using right now, the crit chance circlet, crit damage circlet, it all comes down to substats. But with this setup right now, because Gorou gives you crit damage, you want to match that 2-to-1 ratio as well as possible. And so if you can do that, you just want to swap that circlet that I have, lose a little bit of that defense percent substat, get some crit damage substat, like 20% I put in here theoretically, which is very easy to do, and then have that 31% crit chance. Just boosts up to 82% crit chance, 173 crit damage, very close to that 2-to-1 ratio to mathematically match the damage. And on average, our N1 is going to be doing slightly under 50,000 raw damage there. And then our N4, 71,000 raw damage, which is a pretty significant increase compared to before. And if you compare that all the way back to good old bowl-eyed R5 spine, the one we're using right now, it is nearly double the damage. It's like 45%, 42%, somewhere around there, napkin math, additional damage compared to what we can do right now in Genshin, which is wild. Now, if we compare what we have right now on the spine compared to my white blind build here, well, white blind here, R5, using Gorou, using all the bells and whistles, the same thing that the spine build can do, using a crit chance circlet with some crit damage subset because we need that additional crit chance. 55 crit chance, 193 crit damage because we have Gorou in there. Big defense to attack, additional attack from our stack as well, 6,573 attack. We're actually just under our OG currently right now. If I took the same exact substats in the gear I have right now and applied them to the new set magically, we're just under it by a small fraction. 42,650 N1s, 61,000 N4s, 114,000 plunge attacks there. Now, say you're like, oh, what about R1 spine compared to this white blind? I have the white blind ready to rock and roll. What about this spine build? So if you took the spine build, R1 funded by the battle pass one time, you will see a slight increase in damage. We're talking around 5, 6, 7% increase in damage compared to the white blind build. Although keep in mind, right, a little bit increase in damage from the white blind build with the spine build at R1. However, your defense is going to be wildly higher in the white blind build, higher shields, better healing, 3,750 defense with all these Gorou buffs and stuff. Your shield's never going to break until it runs out. It's going to be an amazing thing there as you're face tanking all of us dodges damage. And it's a lot of stuff to look forward to with this character. Noelle's going to be doing a lot of stuff. 40-something thousand damage raw. That's crazy. I mean, almost 50,000 average hits. You're going to hit harder per hit, but this is averaged out. That is an insane thing to say. Now, this is raw. However, comparing to what we showed for the bowl-eyed set right now, 29,918, I hit slightly under that, like maybe like 2-3K, 4K with, you know, this proper support, Zhongli, Beta, whatever it is, times 2 Geo Resonance resist down against most targets in the game. Obviously, big things with big Geo resist. They don't really care too much about it, but you can do some nice stuff against the average monster. Then that's going to be a huge bump in damage if you're a Noelle main out there, coming out there. We're power spiking, baby. 35-40% increased damage to our girl. I am ready, guys. Even Steven's ready. Look at that smile.